common sense Christianity.
Greetings. Hope everybody's doing well. I think biblical Unitarians often find themselves in a landscape dominated by Trinitarian theology. So I think establishing a YouTube channel dedicated to the principles and teachings of biblical Unitarianism would provide a clear, consistent, and focused space for believers to learn, to grow, and fellowship together. And this unity in teaching is crucial for the development and strengthening of the faith. By maintaining a channel that strictly adheres to Unitarian beliefs, it fosters an environment where members can come to one accord, enhancing their understandings and commitment to the faith. Many existing theological channels on YouTube are centered around debates, feeding the flesh, and this often leads to confusion rather than enlightenment. For biblical Unitarians, the goal should not be to engage in endless debates, which can be more about winning arguments than sharing truth. Instead, the focus should be on teaching the core beliefs of biblical Unitarianism in a way that's accessible and nurturing. A channel dedicated to this purpose would not only educate, but also spiritually uplift, provide content that is constructive rather than combative. I can't tell you how many times I go on other channels when they have these people on there, biblical Unitarian channels, and they have people ad homing or just arguing, trying to argue against certain things about your faith. I think this is counterproductive. Allowing individuals from other faiths to use the platform to push their agenda dilutes the message and the mission of a biblical Unitarian channel. This practice often turns channels into battlegrounds for theological disputes rather than centers of learning and community. By keeping the content focused, the channel can avoid the distractions that come from constant debates about theological doctrine differences, ensuring that the message remains clear and true to biblical Unitarian teachings. A dedicated biblical Unitarian channel would serve as a beacon for those seeking the specific interpretation of Christianity. It would offer a place for believers worldwide to connect, discuss, and support one another without the interference of counter-arguments or aggressive promotions of other beliefs. This can lead to stronger community bonds where members feel supported and part of a larger like-minded family. In the comment section, questions from others can be addressed, but the primary content should remain focused on teaching and fellowship within the biblical Unitarian framework. Turning a biblical Unitarian channel into another debate platform feeds into the carnal desire for confrontation rather than spiritual growth. The Bible encourages unity and peace among believers, Ephesians 4:3, 1 Corinthians 1:10. A channel that emphasizes teaching over debating is more likely to produce spiritual fruit, drawing people towards a deeper understanding of God in a biblical Unitarian context. It's about guiding souls to truth, not engaging in spiritual one-upmanship. Given the numerous channels already exist for Trinitarians to express and defend their beliefs, biblical Unitarians should capitalize on this by offering something distinctly different, a refuge and a resource for those interested in Unitarian theology. By not turning into just another debate channel, the focus can remain to outreach and education, potentially attracting those who are disillusioned with the combative nature of many other theological discussions online. For biblical Unitarians to effectively share their faith and grow their community, a YouTube channel should be a sanctuary of learning and fellowship, not another arena for theological combat. This approach would not only honor the spirit of unity and peace that biblical Unitarians advocate, but also serve as a light to those seeking an alternative to mainstream Christianity and the theology. And that's something that I just don't see today. I just see multiple channels having these people on, debating, these panels going back and forth over and over again. You're not ever going to develop a good community this way. You're not allowing people to come to one accord. People are fractured. These people come on, they give their testimony, they go away. It gives them a chance to come up and grandstand and speak. That's not how you build a church or a community. And so as long as biblical Unitarians remain fractured, allow others to come up and preach their doctrine, then the Unitarian belief is going to be watered down. It's going to be melted into all these other theological challenges and confusions and theological differences. It's just going to be a blend, right? It's not going to be something that's homogenous and something that somebody can notice on the internet and go, wow, what's this group of people? You're just going to come on, you're going to see maybe one biblical Unitarian talking or two or three. You might see some cussing and some shouting and some yelling, right? Which typically happens, which you wouldn't have this happen if you had one accord. And then, they're going to see Unitarian talking, they're going to see the Trinitarian talking, and maybe a oneness believer or whatever, and maybe a Jehovah's Witness. And there's not really going to be anything that stands out. They're going to have to juggle this back and forth in their mind. However, when you have all biblical Unitarians up there speaking in one accord, it's going to have a more magnifying effect. People are going to listen. They're going to think, wow, this is a great community. Maybe I can learn from them. So having a panel of people that believe differently is really a disservice to biblical Unitarianism. And we need to capitalize again on the channels that we have. So my channel, I'm going to go into a different direction. I'm going to try to foster a community at least. I won't be preaching as much, but I think that biblical Unitarians should develop a community where we can all come to one accord. Enough is enough. We need to move past the debate, the debate mindset and the debate spirit, and develop a community. Even if it starts off slow, you have to start somewhere. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. We shouldn't be concerned about numbers. Hey, who cares if one or two people come on? We don't get hundreds of views right away or whatever. It's slowly going to progress, and we're supposed to be more interested in saving souls and teaching people truth than it is try to satisfy the numbers. So that's why I've muted my comments in the past. I'm not really interested in debating. I don't really want to engage with people that don't want to hear truth. I believe I have the truth. I push the truth. And if people don't want to believe in it, that's fine. But I'm not going to get into an argument with people. See, these people don't want to hear your side. They just want to preach their doctrine. That's fine, but preach it on another channel. Like, I'm not going to go on and necessarily engage in long theological discussions with people who are teachers of another faith. I just don't see any fruit from it. So again, I think biblical Unitarians should try to homogenize, get together, try to develop a collective group and grow in one accord, not allow yourself to be fractured by allowing Trinitarians, modalists, Jehovah's Witnesses to come on and distract the building of the church and the body, which is the biblical Unitarian faith.